This is your daily strategic dose by Kevin Mohler.
What's up? Top of the day to you. Glad that you're here. Hey, listen, two things. I forgot my microphone today, so sorry. Audio quality may not be as good as it usually is, but whatever. It's time to move forward, and no reason to delay progress. I am headed at the crack of dawn here to run a staff meeting, then to knock out a few little errands, and then on to the airport. So it's going to be a good time. Hey, listen, it's the things that you do when you don't have to do them that determine where you are when you can no longer help it. That is a quote from a friend of mine, a wise man, Mr. Robert Parkerson, who's an author and a speaker and financial advisor and all kinds of different things. And that is so true. And I want to tell you a quick story about how that applies, because many, many years ago, I was building an income from a business that promised residual income, meaning income that would come in from the work you did in the past. It wasn't a lot of income, but it stacked year after year after year after year after year after year after year. So you could snowball it into a meaningful income and a passive cash flow, if you will. And I wanted freedom. I was just absolutely enamored with the idea of just making a living. I mean, I came from a background of construction work and a college dropout. So my vision of the future in the early days of business building was not something that was monstrous and high. I mean, it's not like I went from a broke construction worker and a college dropout wannabe, because I was actually still in college and started my first business. It's not like I thought I was going to make $1 million a year that year. I mean, I just didn't have that kind of a vision. But I wanted freedom, and I just could not get out of my mind. I was just enamored with the thought that, man, what if I just had a living coming out? What if I just had enough money to pay all my bills that came in whether I worked or not? I mean, it was the most powerful visual for me at that stage of my life that was intriguing. It was just like, oh my gosh, what if I woke up every day and I could do whatever? I could work hard or not work hard. I could set my agenda. I could get up early if I wanted to, or not get up early if I wanted to. Like I have enough income coming in to pay the bills. What if? And, the words of Robert Parkerson there is the things you do when you don't have to do it that determine where you are when you can no longer help it. It never rang more true than me building that business, eventually meeting the woman who would become my wife, her getting diagnosed with an autoimmune condition and almost dying, weighing less than 100 pounds, being in a complete kidney failure. Every specialist said that she was going to pass away, loaded up with immunosuppressant drugs and chemo pills and antidepressant drugs. I mean, absolutely just a horrific health story at the time. When we up and decided, literally overnight one day, through a series of events that I won't tell you about now because it's just too long of a story, that ended up on a Wednesday making the decision to go to a hospital in Mexico on Monday, not knowing how long we were going to be there, what it was going to cost, a lot of unknowns, way more that we didn't know than what we did know. And we operated on faith by the grace of God. I felt that I was encouraged and inspired by my higher power, and you can believe what you want, but I firmly believe in my relationship with Jesus Christ. I've got plenty of evidence in my own life to believe that 100% to be true. And I believe that I was spoken to on a Wednesday about going to Mexico, which we had been contemplating going to, and we up and left. And again, there was way more that we did not know than what we did know. But I'll tell you this, after 36 days of being in Mexico at the hospital, never leaving the hospital for 36 days, I did go jogging into the grocery store and things like that, but my wife did not leave. She stayed there at the hospital until the very, very end of that trip before she started to get out a little bit. But after that 36 days, her kidney was functioning 100% normally without any pharmaceutical drugs whatsoever. Never had any pharmaceutical drugs during that 36 days. It was all natural types of treatment, which was incredible. But long story short, it saved her life. And I'll never forget being there and having such limited access to anything. I didn't have, internet. There was one corner of the hospital at the very, very back corner of the fence where I would get enough data reception to check email. And it took forever just to load email. That's how poor the Wi-Fi was. But while we were there, we still had income coming in every single day. And there was a lot of provision that helped us to make that trip. It was very expensive. It was very time consuming. But in that moment, I was so grateful because I started to build a business before I needed it to be there for me in the midst of uncertainty, in the midst of doubt, in the midst of trying times. I didn't know I was going to need it. I had no idea that I was going to need it. So what I'm here to tell you about is, what are we building for today? Like, what are we building for that is going to be there or not be there for us 5 years from now? I don't know. All I know is that I am called to help as many people as possible. I am called to make the biggest impact possible. I am called to grow into a better human being every single day. And when I'm addicted to growth as a person, inside and outside, in my marriage, in my relationship with my son, in my spiritual faith, in my level of understanding, in my education, I can't help but to grow externally. It's just what happens. When you grow internally, things around you externally are going to grow. It's one of the reasons why, broke people make fun of a lot of like really rich people about, oh my gosh, well, they got so much money. Why don't they just retire? Okay, well, maybe they actually love what they do. Maybe they're actually growing inside. Maybe they have a vision of making a bigger impact. Maybe it's not just all about the money. I mean, for me, certainly, I want to grow my wealth. I'm not ashamed of that. I have a healthy relationship with money. I want to grow as much wealth as I possibly can because I can further contribute to those things that I care about and people that I care about and causes that I care about and in my family. Like, I can use those resources as what they are, which is a resource to help other people. So yeah, I want to grow my wealth. But you know what? I also want to get up and create some audio like this to maybe impact somebody who maybe I've never even met before. That fuels me up to grow my impact. And whenever I grow more internally, again, everything around me externally is going to grow. Healthy things grow. Healthy things grow. Remember that. So the point of this message today is just to inspire you that, you may have some goals and dreams and things that you're building for, but guess what? You also have a lot of life that you don't know that you're going to experience. It's not even on your radar. You have no idea what's going to be happening in your life a year, 2 years, 3 years from now. Heck, we don't even know tomorrow. Let's be honest. I mean, we live in a crazy world right now. We don't know what we're going to need. We don't know where we're going to be. We don't know what's going to be going on around us, and we don't have to. Because today, guess what we do know? We have an opportunity to grow today, baby. We got an opportunity to serve more today. We have an opportunity to do hard things today. We have an opportunity when nobody's looking and when there's no trophy, there's nobody that's going to be celebrating us. There's nobody that's applauding us. We have the ability to make hard decisions today, to do the right thing, to grow, to move forward. And you know what? That decision every day, compounded over time, is going to change your life internally, which means it's going to change your life externally, which means it's going to create something that you may not even know that you're going to need in the future. So let that fuel you to be disciplined today. Let that fuel you to make better decisions today. Let that fuel you that you truly can change your life by taking your power into your own hands, making difficult decisions, compound those decisions every single day. Do the right thing, add value, compound it over time. Watch where you end up. Look, I love you guys. Hope you're doing great. If you're hearing this outside of our private community, then you need to join our private community. Just ask questions or look in the links below. I don't know where you're listening to this, but just remember the two things is that, one, you can join our private community. There's no cost to that. We would love to have you a part of that. And then number two, share this with somebody who you think needs to hear it. You've got probably somebody you're thinking of right now that could use this message. Light them on fire and help them on their progress of life. God bless you. Talk to you soon.
This is your daily strategic dose by Kevin Mohler.